Hello and welcome to Sin and Steel. I'm your host, Sarah-Tonin, and today I'm joined by the multi-talented rock legend, Cherie Currie. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure. And Sarah, Sarah-Tonin. I love that.
It's a little bit of fun.
It is. And I use it almost every night. So I use you every night. I'm sorry. All right. It's been one of those crazy days. Like I feel like running around trying to get
Yep,
all this stuff done. Yes,
yep.
yes.
No, I
So
appreciate
good
you
to meet
squeezing
you.
it in though.
Of course, of course.
So we have one main target for the interview, so we might as well stick to that one first, and that is, of course, to talk about the upcoming Australian shows, which are part of your final Australian tour, running through the beginning of September. So, what does the final tour mean for you? Are you continuing other tours, shows, and music in general?
I'm walking away from touring,
Yep,
Sarah.
yep,
So the thing is I've been doing this 50 years. I mean, the
yeah,
Runaways, we were just, yeah, crowned 50 years. My gosh. And I'm the only one that does the Runaways music. But, I just got to feel like I've been doing it quite a long time and it's time for me to take a break and
yep,
yeah, just, you get that feeling, that little voice that says it's time. So,
yep.
yeah.
That's fair. And what are you most looking forward to about this particular trip?
The First of all, I don't know if you're aware, but the Runaways' first album went gold in Australia.
Oh, okay. No, I
That's what
I wasn't aware of that. I should
that's
know
what we
that,
were,
but no.
but that's what we were told when we were
Yeah.
just 17. Yeah, 2000. I'm sorry, 1976.
Yeah.
Kim Fowley told us we had gone gold in Australia, so we just wanted to get to Australia,
Yeah.
but it never happened. And that was so sad because I mean, I'm just a huge fan. I think that when I was in Australia in 2016, the
Yeah.
nicest, most beautiful human beings. I mean, truly, Australia is wonderful. And the fact that I get to bring my son with me this time, and
Yeah.
yeah, and he's going to be drumming. And Sandy West had given him lessons. Of course, she passed away in 2006,
Yeah.
but she gave him lessons. And he wasn't really sure if he wanted to be a drummer, but boy, is he a killer drummer. And he
Amazing.
pays such homage to Sandy. And, I've toured a lot overseas, and I've never had my son on any of those tours.
Yeah.
So this time, I just went to Ibiza and he had to play drums because the drummer was ill. And I realized this is the way I want to end my career is with my son
Amazing.
on drums because he truly is the greatest. He's as close to Sandy West as I can
Yeah.
get. Yeah.
That's incredible. And what a special moment it would be as well, having him as a part of that.
Well, it is, and the fact that his band Maudlin Strangers, they're so great, and I mean they're doing very well in Australia, and I just
Yep.
want to be able to pass the torch to him and let him meet people there, uh, and let him do what he does best, and that is music and acting, and
Yeah.
he's just fantastic. Yeah,
That's great.
people will love him. He's such a good kid, such a good human being, and they'll
Yep.
see it. Yeah, they'll see it when he's on stage. He's just a star.
Awesome. And you mentioned, so yeah, last time you came out was 2016. So I actually saw you not at your main show, but you did a little pop-up show at the Cherry Bar in Melbourne, kind of on the
Oh,
side which was so much fun. Tiny little show, dingy little venue. We love the Cherry Bar. Um,
oh, I'm actually bringing that jacket that the
yep.
owner gave me with the check because I love that jacket. I wear it all the time, so I'll be
Amazing.
wearing that on stage. Yes.
That's awesome. Were you looking at potentially doing any other little pop-up shows this time, or do you not really have the space?
You know what? I mean, unfortunately, we had did have to cancel a show in Perth, and
Yeah.
supposedly that is pretty notorious for, the ticket sales not being great. I feel bad about that, of course. I wish that we didn't have to do that, but we are just going to do four amazing shows. If something comes up, we're game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, truly, I mean, we're there to rock. So,
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. I think because that one was it was a Monday night, so it was like the worst
yeah.
night, but it was So good. It was just such a good show. And it was opened by Amel and the Sniffers, who at the time they'd only just started. But I don't know, have you been following their career at all? Because they've absolutely taken off.
Oh my gosh, I haven't.
They're playing all over the world. They're playing massive, massive shows. They're doing incredibly, incredibly well.
Well, you know what, Australia, you guys push out some of the great talent. I mean, the Veronicas actually,
Yep.
who are, yeah, singing on my latest album, Boulevards of Splendor.
Yeah,
The
okay.
nicest. Oh my God, I love those girls. Love them, love them. Yeah,
Yep.
and also I'm bringing with me Nick Mayberry, who is from Australia, one of the
Yep.
greatest lead guitar players, in my opinion, that I've ever worked with. So I get to bring him home to hang out with his family too and
Amazing.
have some fun to say goodbye. And to me, it's just, this is such a gift. And I
Yep.
do love it. I do love Australia. I think Australia, music wise, has been far more powerful than I think the people realize. I
Yep.
mean, even in the Runaways, I mean, what was happening in Australia was something that they were clocked in, you know, they wanted to know, all the record companies, everything,
Yep.
because, Australia just rocks.
We do.
You do.
If I can say that myself, we do.
Yeah, you
Um,
do.
but when I look at bands like Amel and the Sniffers, I feel like because so awesome punk female fronted. Um, I look at them being like one of many bands that would be inspired in the heavy music space, whether it's rock, punk, or metal, who they've grown up and been inspired by you and the Runaways and what you've done. So I'd love to know when you look back on that legacy and the impact that you've had in that space and you hear about those different people that you've inspired, how does that make you feel?
Oh, so much relief because I really thought when I left the band, I couldn't listen to our music. I never looked at a video, nothing,
Yep.
until 1996,
Yep.
when Kenny Laguna and Joan Jett came back into my life and Lita Ford, when we were talking about doing a reunion. And I just thought we had all been but forgotten. When I started looking at those videos, I went, whoa, I mean, we were good. I mean,
Yep.
I was shocked. And that's when, the Go-Go's, the Bangles, everyone else started. And of course, John and Art Linson, who produced the Runaways film. These are people that were coming forward and saying that we had really made a difference. And I really didn't think we had, but it's so good to know that we did
Yep.
because it was tough. It was tough because there was no one out there besides my dearest friend, Susie Quattro.
Yeah.
And yeah, without Susie, there would have never been the Runaways. There would never have been Joan Jett. That is for sure. So
Yep.
thank you, Susie, my dear friend, for all you've done for girls in rock and roll.
Yep.
We can need to get her into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Sarah.
Yeah, yeah, we got to push for that. I
Yeah,
don't
for
understand
sure.
how she's not. It doesn't make sense, but you know,
I
it's a
agree.
whole thing. The way they design that system is yeah, it's
It's
interesting.
political, I think. I think it's
Yeah,
political. I think it's got a lot of money involved, and that's the sad thing. But if and people keep saying, well, do you think the Runaways should be inducted? I say without Susie, no.
yeah, yeah,
But if they did by chance want to induct the Runaways, I would accept that award and then accept it and give it to
yeah,
Susie. I
yeah,
mean, to be honest, I could
yeah,
never feel good about uh, getting that award if Susie
mm,
doesn't have it. So I would just give it to her.
yeah.
And that's the truth. That's how much I love her and
I
what
love
she's
that.
done. Yeah.
Coming from a place where you've kind of been exposed to the music industry since you were very young, because you were only 15 when you started out, right?
Right.
How do you think the industry has evolved or changed over the years, especially in terms of making space for and creating safe environments for women?
Well, it's a 180. It's a little shocking to me when I see girls say, we need more, more, more. I mean, there was nothing.
Mm,
Women were not accepted, and it was a boys' game, and
yeah,
they made it very clear. So now, I mean, it's to me, I think that it's equal at this point, and I would love to see. us all just realize that. Because to be honest, I don't know how much more women could be involved in music than they are right now. I just, I can't, then we would take over, and I don't want that, because men are awesome too. So, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a completely different world.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. It's such a balance, and I think it's more it's yeah, you don't want it to be about having more women for the sake of having more women. It's you just
No.
want them to be able to have the space to explore that if that's the thing they want to do.
Well,
And
well,
and
what
I
do you
think
think? I
we've
mean,
got that a lot more. Well, I think in rock and punk there's a lot more. In metal it's still probably much more male dominated, especially if you
well,
go to the heavier side of metal, so death metal and black metal and things like that.
well, Lita,
But we've got heaps more coming, and we've got some really talented women in that space. And
yeah.
again, it's if they want to be doing that thing, I think they can be doing that thing now.
And that is an acquired taste for women to be playing
Yeah,
heavy metal. You know,
yeah,
you had Vixen and all that, great girls, wonderful girls, and Lita Ford, of course.
yeah,
But again, you've got to have someone in that vacuum to be able to make it happen. And sometimes, you know, they're going for pop or whatever. But the thing is it doesn't mean that the women, well, it could mean that the women aren't there for metal, if that's one of your arguments. But um, all I know is that the world is women's oyster,
yes,
truly. If they
yeah,
want it, they can have it. I just am so happy
yeah.
with how it's evolved in 50 years.
Yeah, no, that's it's awesome. And I think we needed people like yourselves to and Susie to pave that way and make that space. And I think we
Yeah,
wouldn't be in the same place if we didn't have that. You know, we need those people to be take those first steps.
right.
And sometimes that means some not so nice things happening in that space to begin with. But again, it's opened up the door for so much more and for so many more women. So there's a lot of positives to that as well.
Truly, very true. Yes.
I imagine as well that having to like find yourself when you were young and already in the spotlight would have been really strange and daunting. Do you have any advice for anyone that's wanting to pursue a career in music or someone who has kids that might be wanting to do so?
Absolutely. First of all, don't ask anyone's opinion,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
when you go into this business, I mean, it is truly something you're born to do.
yeah,
And you know, I mean, trust me, my stepfather turned around and said, "You're never going to amount to nothing. This band isn't going to make it." But this was not his path, you know. So the thing is that I think people, when you decide, or that you listen to that voice, that this is what you're supposed to do in life, you have to trust it. I mean, 100%.
yeah,
Don't ask anyone's opinion. Just do it and listen to that inner voice, because it's never wrong. And when
yep,
you don't listen, you regret it every single time.
yep, yep. I imagine it would also, yeah, stifle creativity and stuff if you're taking too much of what other people want to do, and then that's going to spoil the fun.
Well, and also insecurity is what this business really is rooted in.
Yeah.
When people start in this business, especially now with the pay to play, and they make you sell your own tickets and all
The
that
pay to play
crap,
stuff is nuts.
horrible. Well, I think it ruined the business. It truly did. I mean, it just showed that, you know, people got lazy.
Yeah.
The promoters, the scouts, they just decided to stop doing their job. And these poor kids, I mean, you know, you can only do pay to play a couple of times. You have to sell 30 tickets, but then those 30 people, you can't ask them to come the next time. And
Yep.
that, and these amazing musicians walk away. And
Yeah.
that to me is the tragedy.
Yep.
Because I mean, you have to agree, like, and even with The Voice or American Idol and all these shows that really are almost unreachable for the majority of us musicians. I mean, I don't think Bob Dylan would have made it into the top of
Mm.
Americans Got Talent. They just would have said, well, hey, bye.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's
They want the stuff that's quick sellers though.
exactly, but that's what I think, that they've set the bar so high that so many. people like a Tracy Chapman, or, with, I don't think she would have, I think she would have walked away. And that's the one thing that really hurts my heart, is there's
Yeah.
so many amazing stars out there that just say, well, I'm just not good enough because
Yeah.
that's my competition. So, I would love to just see these clubs stop the pay to play, start working, do your job, scout, find these amazing talents,
Yeah.
and help these kids out. It isn't
Yeah.
all about the money, right, Sarah? It's
No.
when it has become about the money, which is what ended up happening, I think,
Yeah.
in the business. It just really destroyed a lot of. Well, we won't see all those great
Is it
stars.
the pay to play stuff? So I've heard a lot about that happening in Europe, especially for some of the bigger festivals, or at least that they used to, and that maybe some of them are moving away from some of that. Is that common in America as well?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, okay. Because
well
we don't
in the
do that in
clubs.
Australia.
Oh, thank God. Yes. I mean, and that started basically in the 80s, this pay to play, like the Whiskey A Go Go, all these iconic clubs that would make these kids, if eh, they would make them sell 30 tickets. If they only sold 29, they were never paid.
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, that's just terrible. To
Yeah.
me, it's just awful. And these are great bands because so what I've decided to do is, once this tour is over, I've already talked to a couple of clubs where I will invest in I'll go out and scout, bring these great bands to these two different clubs, give them the entire door, bottom line,
Yeah.
and say, listen, you need to put money in your pockets, and I will then bring record companies in to see these people.
Yeah.
And that's going to be my way of giving back.
That's awesome. And that's it's such a good thing to do and just raise other people up. I think that's amazing.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's to me, it's something I have to do.
Yep.
I do. Yeah.
Yep. Very quickly before we do kind of finish up, something that I always find really interesting is the different creative outlets that artists have, because I feel like most musicians always have different things that they work on creatively. And you have quite a few because you've also done some acting and all sorts of bits and pieces, but you've got a very interesting one, the chainsaw carving. How did you get
Right.
involved in that?
Again, that voice in your
Yep.
head is so important. I was a relief carver. I moved from being a sketch artist. I was a sketch artist. That's how my book
Yeah.
happened, because I went as a illustrator to Price Stern and Sloan, which is a young adult book company, and I walked in just with my illustrations because I'd been a counselor for drug addicted teens in the 80s. I had to sit in their classroom for 2 hours every day. So, I mean,
Yeah.
what else was I going to do? So I started sketching. But when they asked me, well, how long have you been doing this? I said a year. And they said, how is that possible? I gave them a quick synopsis of the Runaways, and they said, we've been looking for our first young adult book, and this is it.
Yep.
It was like, what? I walked in as a illustrator and walked out an author.
That's
So
awesome.
art has always been one of the things that has moved me forward in life.
Yep.
And I just started relief carving, and I'm not going to go into the details of how that happened, but I'd been doing that for about a year, and I just happened to be on the back of a motorcycle going to the beach one day and saw a couple of guys chainsaw carving at the side of the road. So they
Yep.
just passed me, and I went, "Oh, that's neat." But that was the last thought I gave it. But
Yep.
before I went to bed that night, this voice says, you got to go back. It's like, oh, all right.
Okay.
Morning, in the morning, you got to go back. For 2 weeks, that voice kept saying, you have to go back. After 2 weeks of that, I said, fine, I'll go back. It's like, it wouldn't leave me alone. And I walked into their gallery and I saw these incredible mermaids and seals and dolphins and bears and gorillas and tikis and totems.
Yep.
And I was astonished because I kind of expected it to be, that squared lumberjack type thing that you see sometimes with carvings.
Mm.
And I was astonished. And this voice said, you can do this.
Yep.
Shocked. And I was like, what? Because I mean, it scared me a little bit. It
Mm.
is a pretty dangerous thing.
Yep.
But I just said, all right. And I talked to the owner, and he looked at some of my artwork, and they took me on.
Yep.
And my third piece won a blue ribbon at the Malibu Art Expo. And it's almost impossible to get into that.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, so that was 2002. I started competing in 2005, and I placed in major competitions. And
Yep.
I've been doing it ever since. Thousands of
Amazing.
carvings. Yeah.
What are your favorite things to create?
I have to say, uh, mermaids, sea life
Yep.
has always been my favorite, to do beautiful women. But I did just do an Indian chief, a
Yep.
life-size Indian chief, which I didn't even think I could do, but he turned out fantastic.
Amazing.
And yeah, I love doing dolphins and seals and you know turtles and all that kind of stuff. I just love doing all of it. Beauty in art, and especially in this art, is what I strive for, and I'm lucky. I'm good
Yep.
at it. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. I think it's great to have all those different creative outlets and yeah, just awesome. Before
Thank
we
you.
do pack up, is there anything else that you have going on or upcoming that you want to plug, or what can people do to support you and your music?
You know what? There's just coming to Australia is everything for me,
Yep.
and to be able to show my son that there is a future, for him, because
Yep.
it's tough. I mean, and I'm talking about kids. My son and Trevor Lukather, who is my twin sister, Steve Lukather from Toto, and my twin sister's son, who is beyond amazing. How difficult it is for these young people to even get a deal these days.
Yep.
So it's just so great to be able to do this tour with my son and say goodbye to a country that I have always loved dearly. And I'm so grateful for.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And it's going to be some great shows. Look, thank you so much again for jumping on the show. I really
Thank you,
appreciate your
Sarah.
time. And thank you to everyone tuning in for this episode. If you enjoyed this interview, make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment, letting us know if you are going to one of the Australian shows. And of course, I'll drop all the links in the description as well. Until next time, stay metal.